SMH is down 3.4% today as we're filming this. However, on the year, it is still up 52%, and it is sitting still at 15% of my real portfolio. And I'm not adding more shares at this level, even on a red day today, which for a majority of investors would just be the buy the dip opportunity that we're looking at. And today, I want to break down exactly the SMH, where it's going, why I own 15% of this, and of course, the AI infrastructure levels from the ground up. And honestly, there is a risk when it comes to semiconductors, and a lot of videos won't tell you this, so let's go ahead and get into it. SMH is the VanEck Semiconductor ETF. It holds the 25 largest US listed semiconductor companies by market capitalization and liquidity. Now, this fund launched in 2000, making it one of the oldest semiconductor ETFs that we do have in the market. It charges a 0.35% per year and holds almost $64 billion in assets as of close of business yesterday, and includes some of those names that are listed on the US stock exchange, but they also could be headquartered globally, which makes it a key structural difference for the primary competition we see in there with the SOXX. The top 10 holdings as of late June 2026, Nvidia has about 18% of this entire ETF. We have TSMC about 9%, Broadcom about 6%, ASML about 5%, and Micron sitting at 7%. Now, this is not a diversified fund at all. The top 10 holdings roughly account for 60 to 65% of this entire fund, making your concentration bet on semiconductor companies and the exposure to AI infrastructure. The SMH is deliberately structured that way. Now, there is one very technical note that you have to think about with this ETF. It is the 20% weighted cap on a single security, and it rebalances quarterly. So we have seen this happen time and time again with Nvidia. Natural market cap weight would go over that 20%, and it would have to adjust. When that happens, VanEck is effectively forced to sell some Nvidia exposure and distribute it to the other holdings. This means the SMH systematically trims its best performing position to rebalance the rest of the companies in there. It is a structural discipline, and I love that this is built in, because there are periods when Nvidia might significantly outperform the rest of the market, and this is going to put it kind of back in check. Then the question comes in, if the AI thesis is so strong, then why is the SMH only 15% of my portfolio instead of being 25% or even 35%? And the answer is semiconductor cycle risk. That is the most important thing to remember about this position. Semiconductors are a cyclical industry. You don't have to go back to 2022 to see the proof. Look at what happened last year. During 2025, US tariff shock, the SMH fell over 30% in the matter of weeks, not because anything was wrong with that AI thesis, because trade policies really created uncertainty in the marketplace, what supply would look like, what exports would look like, shifting sentiment, and of course, the valuation multiplied and really compressed in some scenarios. It took a significant rally to recoup those losses, and as of the day that I'm filming this, SMH is down 3.4%, which is a normal Tuesday for a fund of this concentration in a single sector. These are not modest moves. At 52% year to date in 2026, 49% in 2025, the SMH has delivered over 100% return in the last 18 months, and that pace is not going to continue forever. Cycles are real. Semiconductors are going to be cyclical. It is going to, of course, drop much further than a broader market. 15% of the allocation I am completely comfortable with. If there is a 30 to 50% drawdown, I am okay with the rest of my portfolio. If the SMH dropped another 40% from the current levels, which is the 2025 tariff shock that we've seen, which could be possible, it is only going to be a couple percentage points in the portfolio. Would be painful to see, but absolutely manageable, not portfolio threatening. And at 30%, that same drawdown would reduce the portfolio by about 4 to 5% overall, which is almost starting to feel non-existent even during a crash, because a lot of people would sell out. I will not. I am never selling. Position sizing is not about the conviction in the thesis. It is about the size of the position, that regardless of how far it goes down or how high it goes up, that you are going to not break that never sell rule. So right now, guys, I am not adding the SMH at current levels for one specific reason. When we start looking at 52% year to date, it has naturally grown to represent a much larger share of their portfolio than my target allocation. When I'm making my regular contributions and looking at the target weight, it is going to go in and be allocated to other ETFs through M1. Even on a day like today where it's down 3.4%, I'm not going to buy the dip, even though it looks attractive. I'm going to let it ride, but indirectly, my new contributions are going to go in other positions within the portfolio. If you look at the SCHD at 5%, has significantly underperformed the SMH, but when you start looking at the bigger picture, the SCHD has done actually incredibly well. My Monday automatic contributions go into the portfolio, and it is going to maintain the balance in the portfolio through regular contributions. And of course, it's not going to be buying one that has already delivered a 52% return in the last 7 months. Now, this is not a prediction that the SMH is going to continue to fall. The AI capex is real. The spending commitments are multiple year, and the semiconductor thesis is intact. It is a discipline of not letting a single position really grow well above its weight. And of course, not being able to hold it through the drawdown. 52% year to date is really risk adjusted for adding new capital into a weaker and lower price that we're seeing. I've been getting messages all week. Is it time to sell? Nope. The thesis has not changed. The price has changed. And those are the only two things that really require a different response. With the SMH, there are 4 specific risks worth clearly naming before you decide if this belongs in your portfolio. The first one, the AI capex slowdown. The entire thesis of the hyperscale is based on spending $600 to $800 billion plus per year is what they're estimating for AI. And right now, Wall Street is kind of at a split decision. JP Morgan is saying this is going to be the summer of the biggest buying opportunity that we've ever seen with chip ETFs. Morgan Stanley is saying that the chip sector is going to be in for a hard remainder 2026. These are 2 of the largest investment banks in the world, and they disagree on the decision. When the smart money is split on near-term decisions of your largest sector holding, it is not a reason to panic at all, but it is definitely a reason to not be overweight. Second, export controls. Chinese regulators are currently looking at tightening export controls on AI and semiconductor technology. That is reported by the Financial Times this week. Nvidia China revenue has already been significantly restricted. TSMC faces geopolitical risks from Taiwan. Materials escalation to build these could impact 2 of the largest holdings that SMH does have. This is not a hypothetical risk. This is an active political discussion that is actually happening in real time. Now, third, tariff and trade shock. Last year's tariff sent the SMH down over 30%. Trade political risk is not a theory for this fund. It is proven, and it has been recent in the last 12 months. If a new round of tariff escalates. Fourth, value compression. Nvidia and Broadcom trade at earnings multiplies that price in optimistic AI spending projects to extend the next 5 to 10 years. If those projects disappoint even slightly, the valuation multiplier could compress and the stock could fall even though the underlying business is still growing. Today's 3.4% decline in the SMH is a reminder that this fund is going to be one that moves in large increments, both up and down. You are not buying stability in this fund. You are buying one of the highest volatile sectors that we see in an ETF wrapper. So here's the complete picture, guys. SMH at 15% of the portfolio is a high conviction single sector allocation that I own. It is the highest by far. The AI infrastructure thesis is real. The capex commitments are multiple years, and there are really 3 physical layers. Number 1, the chip design. Number 2, the manufacturing. And then number 3, the chip tooling. And there are no viable alternatives that are going to be able to scale to really fulfill the semiconductor industry. Today, it's down 3.4%, 52% it is still up in the year. You can afford a couple days with this ETF being down. That is exactly what the position sizing in a portfolio is for. The discipline to hold at a 15%, not chasing higher and not chasing 25 or 35% when we're looking at a 52% ETF increase this year so far. So a lot of people do not panic when the ETF goes up and down. It is the same never sell principle that we've applied to the portfolio. When there is volatility in the sector, we know that's exactly what it is. You size in to hold it. Now you have to hold it through everything. So of course, guys, drop a comment down below. Do you own the SMH, the SOXX, the SOXQ? And with JP Morgan being bullish, Morgan Stanley being bearish on chips right now, what side are you really on? I want to hear both camps. I read every single comment and I will reply to them. Subscribe if I gave you a clearer picture of the semiconductor industry, what it's actually doing inside a portfolio, and I'll catch you in the next video.